It's a Champions episode today. We are here, one kick from glory. We're gonna have some fun talking about the upcoming season. The Champions reigned supreme and showed Man City that without Pep, it's gonna be long, bruv. It's gonna be long, bruv. Maresca might have the hairstyle, but he ain't got the minerals yet.
Well, hold on. What hairstyle are we talking about?
He's bald, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
He's bald. So he fits the criteria, but we'll see how he gets on. We're back for another episode of One Kick from Glory. I am joined, as always, by Craig and Matthew. And we've got a special guest here with us today, Jamie, Arsenal fan, Celtic fan. We have a lot to talk about in terms of both of those teams and what's happening. But I want to start off with Jamie talking about Arsenal. Obviously, we've seen us lift the Premier League title for the first time in 22 years. How do you feel about that news?
Just want to get... Sorry, Craig. Sorry, just just need to like flex here a little bit, Listen, it's just, what a feeling, man. And you know what? Being born and bred in Highbury, for me, it's just so nice to just leave my house in the mornings and, you're seeing people in Arsenal tops. I actually remember, right, the night that we mathematically won the Premier League trophy, I'm not even lying, I literally was in my dressing gown. I ran out of my house because I could hear cars tooting their horns, line bike bells ringing away, and I'm there running out of my house in my dressing gown celebrating. And the guy's like to me, "Come on, mate, get to the Emirates. Let's go." Right, I'll be there. I'll join you. Ran in, and yeah, that was just an unbelievable night, and I think that will forever live in my history, in all of our histories, because last time we won the league, I mean, I was young, but not young enough to remember. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
But great atmosphere, great day. And, I think we need to also remember that during this summer, we are still the Premier League champions, and we will go on and defend that title during the course of the season.
I see it. I see Matthew's looking a bit like, oh, maybe not, but we'll get onto Matthew's view on it. And I'm glad that you brought up the Emirates and the day of the title official win, because I was at home with Craig, we were watching the game on TV with my mum, and I remember when it went 1-0, Cooper Jr. scored, we were just like, oh, it's going to happen, and I was thinking about what we were going to do. And then full time happens, we've won the game. I called my best friend, we spoke for over an hour, and I was saying to my brother, I was like, I want to go to the stadium, And I'm on phone to my friend, and I'm just like, I need to wrap this phone call up. I said, Craig, I'm going to hit the showers, and we're going to the stadium. So we went, quick showered, jumped in the car, we drove. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see some footage of us driving on the road at the moment. But it was just amazing, just driving to the area, seeing the fans out on the street, like you said, the atmosphere. We even stopped outside one house, and this lady opened the windows up. She had those big speakers playing North London Forever. We all started singing The Angel there in the streets, and it was just amazing. And then there's fans outside the stadium. I really feel because people have talked a lot about, Carnival, and if you weren't at the parade, and if you weren't at the title celebration day, I'm sorry, man, you missed out.
Do you know what? I actually would agree, but I think if you weren't there the day that we were mathematically crowned champions, that was the day you really missed out on.
It was special.
Because that was, I think, a lot of people, and this is a really weird take, but a lot of people were actually saying that was more special than the parade itself. And I thought, you know what? I kind of get the point. It was, and it's one of them things where it was in the heat of the moment.
And also because it was so spontaneous. It wasn't planned. People just turned up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was everyone was hugging everyone. There was Ian Wright of Don Robbie there. Yeah. That was a nice moment, lifting the trophy. Just seeing Miles Skelly's mum was there. And just and then even the fact that Rice and Eze and Saka, Timber, they all just turned up
at 5 a.m. And the reason why they turned up at 5 a.m. was because they just wanted to come to the Emirates and just really take it all in. Because at the time, despite all the celebrations, it hadn't sunk in.
Not at all.
It really hadn't sunk in. Not in the slightest.
And I think that's what I love about football, how it brings everyone together. And then just looking around now, you're seeing so many Arsenal shirts out and about on the streets. Personally, I'm like, where have you guys been? But, also, I'm happy. I'm also happy. And I think it really, bodes well for us that we've got this big feeling. We've got this this sense that we can go on and really make history. And obviously that's now the challenge for this season. And of course we started off against Man City and we showed them. Like me and Craig, we went over to Cardiff. Talk to me, Craig, about like match day, being there in Cardiff at the Millennium Stadium, because the weekend is playing at Wembley. He's playing over Wembley right now. We're recording in the area. But talk to me about being there in Cardiff for the final.
First time going to Wales, and it was an amazing experience. The atmosphere, the night when me and Clive came, we came on the Saturday night, drove up there. It was so nice. Slept in a hotel for like a baby, woke up the next morning, put my Arsenal shirt on, just drove to Cardiff, and then we parked up and just had something to eat, and then we just came and just walked around. Atmosphere was amazing. Got to the stadium, amazing atmosphere. All the Arsenal fans were in joy, happy. You know, it was a great atmosphere, and we were singing our lungs out that game. Saw a couple of Arsenal legends like Paul Davis before they not swim, but when they were doing the asking questions, it was there. You know, the players were warming up, and we outnumbered the Man City fans.
That's really embarrassing because even I think it was the Wednesday before, I got a notification to say that more tickets had released, and I just sat there and was like, "You're just dangling a carrot in front of me."
That's when we bought ours.
Because do you know what it was? Right, I was gonna go because tickets were really cheap as well. They were £35.
Yeah,
they were £35. It was ridiculous.
Damn you, London.
But no. But hold on a minute. This is where it got worse because I was gonna get a train out because I thought, you know what, if I got a Sunday morning train out and then got like the Sunday evening train back to London, I'd be all right. It was £112.
There you go.
What?
There you go. Yeah.
I was like, no. And bearing in mind, like, this was to go on the Saturday night, you would have to then get off the train at like 1 a.m, and the next train wouldn't come in till like 8 or 9 a.m. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not doing that.
The trains were really bad. I mean, I was looking at quite a few people's stories that got trains. Like Luda Guna got trains. He made it up. A lot of people couldn't get seats. Even when I was looking at the options of how best to get up there, trains, I was like, I'm not paying £100 like one way or return for one person.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
exactly.
But then I checked
yeah.
that
Paddington,
I checked that Arsenal did a coach going from the Emirates there and back, £45 return. So I was like contemplating that option. However, it's just getting to the stadium for 8:30. So I said, I'll just drive up there.
Do you know what? I was really tempted to drive, but then I was like, where on earth do I park?
Oh, I found parking.
Yeah.
So I had a few different options of where I was going to park. I sort of planned it out. Like I was either going to park right near the stadium,
Yeah.
10-minute walk. I ended up parking by Cardiff Bay.
Oh, okay.
There's a massive multi-story car park. There's so many Arsenal fans there. Literally only a handful of
surprised.
City fans there
Not
in that car
surprised.
park. And it cost me for the day £9.50.
Wow.
the
See,
time we were
and
there
again,
to
this
park.
goes back to what you were saying about London tax.
Yeah.
Wow. £9.50.
So can't really complain. So that worked out.
So all in, it's 30, how much?
It was 30, our tickets was 32. The one we got was 32. Got a hotel for the night, which was 80.
Okay.
Petrol, I put like £40 petrol in.
Yeah, I always put £40 petrol in, yeah.
So
So
maybe
that makes sense.
So with all that money, you can maybe just afford one football shirt, and you did all of that. That's bonkers, man.
And it was
So
it was
did you
a
get
vibe.
food at the
though.
stadium as well?
I got a drink at the stadium, but not food. I don't really like doing. I sometimes the stadium food I mix and match it.
Do you know what? To be honest with you, I don't buy from the Emirates, or if I'm going to any other stadium, I just don't buy because it's just so expensive.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You're just better off buying food beforehand, or just
Yeah.
having food at home before then coming out. It's just
I
ridiculous.
think I'll always try. Like when I did when we were at the Champions League final viewing, I was in the club level, so I tried like their stuff up there. It was
Any good?
that's when I mean it was alright. It was pricey, but I thought I'd
Alright,
try
it should have been like 5-star Michelin, like it should have been like
Michelin
Michelin
star,
star, 5-star
I mean,
kind of quality.
It was good, but when you're paying £11, like you know,
Oh, you kind of
so I mean,
you're
it's
kind of
like-
paying for what you get. Then,
yeah, it was good, but I'm not gonna go back and be like I want the same thing again. It's like okay, I'll try
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else, maybe. But yeah, I didn't really rate it from that point of view. But no, it was a good experience. I think definitely one I won't forget for a long time. I mean, seeing all the fans there. We had some Man City fans giving us chip before kickoff as we were walking to the stadium, but you know, it's whatever, full banter.
Convo.
Kid.
And then in obviously we got at them. So like the DJ at the start of the game played Arsenal music, we sang North London Forever, and then he started playing Man City's music. We just drowned it out with singing.
Oh, wasn't it like? Isn't it like Oasis and stuff like that?
Nah, they played like
Stuff like a way to present of Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. They
Blue
played.
Moon, oh,
All you
yeah.
could hear is
Oh.
Arsenal. There was no Blue
Yeah.
Moon. It was just Arsenal singing
Yeah,
over
that's
it.
actually. Do you know what? To be honest with you, if you're a Man City fan watching this, how embarrassing is it that you cannot sell out a stadium in general? Because when Man City were here at Wembley against Palace, they couldn't sell out the stadium. Palace fans absolutely sold out their allocation. It's got really embarrassing now for City fans.
Yeah.
And like, when you win a trophy, surely you would want to be at the parade. Tell me why at this year's parade it just got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
You know why?
Go on.
Do you know why the allocation went back down?
Go on.
They were back to us being Arsenal fans again. That's why.
Of course.
Maybe. But no, I think it was all just really, really strange with them in terms of like, yeah, because Pep also called it out when he was here about the lack of support coming to games, and obviously some fans didn't like it, had to go at him for it. But he's right, like you can't be a big club, and like the fact that
That's actually
the
really
stadium was 7/8 Arsenal and 1/8 was Man
City,
City.
yeah.
It was 50 to start off with. We saw our allocation, and then it just kept getting more
increased, yeah.
and
Yeah.
more.
Because I was just getting
more.
notifications saying
Yeah.
that more tickets had been released. So on the first attempt of trying, that's when I was looking at train tickets, and I thought, well, £35. I'm not saying no to that.
Yeah.
But then it was just train
It's a
tickets.
football. It's a football match.
Up until Thursday last week, we got another I think we got another like 500 tickets.
Yeah,
from
it
Man
was.
City.
Yeah, it was.
I think
something
that's
like
probably
that.
was the last drop that they did on the website to
So
say.
really and truly didn't sell out completely.
I'd say the Arsenal.
the
I'd say
Arsenal official end sold out.
What?
What we got given extra, I think in the row we were in, there was like probably 1, 2, 3 seats near us. But what I found out happened afterwards, I was like checking on X to see like just
The
revel
overall
in the
opinion,
thing.
Of course.
A lot of fans got there late because of parking. Some fans they got there late because of parking. Some fans were on the Arsenal coach, only just got in for kickoff. Don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened because other fans were on the same coach and got in fine. So I don't know. But yeah, a lot of them was just transport was kind of messed up a little bit. Some Man City fans said that the distance from Manchester to there was really far, but actually I feel like
It's closer.
it's about
Surely
the same
surely
for both
it's,
of us.
No, surely it's slightly closer.
Closer for them.
Yeah.
Because they always moan about going to Wembley.
I know.
Always. But then it's like, well, hold on a minute. You're going to Wales. That shouldn't be too far.
Cardiff is South Wales.
South
Yes.
South
Wales.
Wales.
South
Yeah,
Wales,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's like South Wales, but so close to the border to England, so it's not like you've got
Basically.
too far to go.
Yeah.
So I didn't really understand that, but fair play to them. They didn't come. They got embarrassed. I want to ask you, Matthew. Obviously, Maresca is your former manager. It's a Chelsea fan. Looking back through the history of the Community Shield as well, it's not always an indicator of who's going to win the league. I think the last 6 or 7 Community Shields that have gone, I don't think any of them have won the league in the season after. But do you feel like this time around it might actually be an indicator of what's to come?
I mean, if we saw what we saw in the game, you wouldn't be called crazy to think that, because from the minute go, you scored your first goal. And regardless of what it is for the Community Shield or whatever it was, you can always look at a team that wants it a bit more than the other one. And I know that Man City are technically going through a transition. They haven't just lost a manager, they've lost like an entity, as they would call it. Like they were already on the map before he got there, and now he's certified them on there. And say what you want about the guy, he stood on principle on pretty much a lot of things, and everywhere he goes, he's won. So you're losing so much in him. Not just even other players. He's gone. Stones has gone. Akandri's gone. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva is going to be one that's going to be felt along the season that they're not even going to realise. And just as recording today, Rodri's gone. Which I'm not mad about. Which I'm not personally not mad about. They've still got good players, but it's going to be a big turnaround for them to kind of like for this whole season. And you just saw how he's got his work cut out for him. He looked so. I mean, in the times I was watching between that and the 100 final, they just looked so damn ordinary. They really, really did. They were doing Olays at like how many minutes? I'm like, wow. Never thought of seeing that coming.
Do you think the players that have left is going to have a similar impact in terms of... Because when you have personalities leave the dressing room that have been successful and have been the foundation of you winning, it can go one of two ways. At Arsenal, when Henry left, it kind of freed the team up the following season and we played really good football. Look back a few years prior to that when Vieira and Gilberto left and Bergkamp, Perez and Nürnberg left, vacuum. And then look at Chelsea, when you guys lost Drogba, Terry, Lampard from your dressing room, and Petr, I guess, you kind of felt that vacuum of who's leading, who's driving things. Do you think Man City are going to have that problem? Or do you think on the flip side, it might galvanise them to actually step up and do more?
I was told after one game, if anything, it kind of feels similar. Remember when Trent left and they lost Diaz, they won the championship? Last season? Well, yeah. If anything, I think it might be a little bit more like that because you underestimate. I mean, they might not necessarily been the most vocal of people, but they're essential. Like, a lot of people talk about Trent. Luis Diaz is a very big loss for them, and they felt it last year. I think it's going to go on the route of that. They're not going to be an entire flop. I don't see them finishing outside the top 4, but they're going to be like. It's going to be a struggle. It always is because in the transition season as well. And plus, they're playing on fronts of Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, this, that. It's balancing the squad with still good players, but it's just missing those really key components. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting season for them. It really is.
I got one more question for you about 115. That's my new name for Man City. So everyone's I want to talk about the manager because the way how he left Chelsea, I don't think it's talked about enough. The levels of, because I think we all knew last season Pep was probably going to go. He's been on his way out for the past few seasons, and it's kind of reached a point where he knew last year he finally got chased out of the league by his apprentice. But Maresca now has taken over. They've had a really great pre-season. They didn't show it against Arsenal in the Community Shield. How well do you think he's going to do this season with Man City?
Cosplaying as Pep is one thing, or delivering a similar kind of way to him, but they're not there. If it went anything like the first season at Chelsea, he's going to need, one thing he will need is a little bit of patience and time to establish what he wants from Man City, because it's going to be very, very different for those players. They're going to be so used to Pep for all this time. The only ones really who are going to be used to something new, say someone like Elliot Anderson, who's stepping in and be like, all right, cool, this is how it's going to be done. But he will need sack for like it, but he needs time. He does need time because at Chelsea he had something good. I genuinely do think he had something. Give it another. I could see maybe this season pushing that a little bit further up the table, because before he left, we were there. I'm not saying we were going to win the league, probably weren't, but we wouldn't have finished where we finished had he not left. We were in a really good spot with him. We were showing the big teams and all Champions League as well, a really good win against Barcelona, that we were kind of like, we were there. I mean, they're kind of, as it was things with Chelsea and Christmas, they don't go hand in hand. And then, LinkedIn Liam gets a lovely bit of work experience, and well, let's say about that anyway. But yeah, he will need time. He's going to need time, regardless of how I feel how the situation has gone. He's not a terrible manager. He's won something at every club he's been at. Chances are he's probably going to win something at City as well. But it's not going to just be a case of like repeating what Pep did. If he wants to establish his own legacy, don't do what Slot did. Do your own thing. But just the City fans have got to be like, maybe they already know that it's going to be a little bit different. They didn't win the league last year. Maybe they already have that expectation anyway.
One thing I just don't understand with City, though, is you're a big club. You've been successful for years. You've brought in probably the best manager that we've ever seen in the Premier League. But my point is, if you've got this pedigree of bringing good managers in, why couldn't you have maybe used that to your priority and thought, well, actually, let's go and bring in another big name. If we could bring Pep in, let's go and bring in another big name. But why Maresca? That's what I would like to know. What made them go for Maresca? Because they could have, if they really wanted like a Diego Simeone, I highly doubt he'd have left Atleti, but they could have gone to him and been like, listen, we can give you this. We can give you unlimited spending money. You'll get good power. You'll be in the Premier League. I just don't understand why City then chose to go for Maresca.
I think they picked the manager that can have the least amount of change with the playing style and hopefully deliver because if you look at Maresca at Leicester, I think you have to look at his Leicester time
Yeah,
rather
absolutely.
than his Chelsea time to really get the value of what they were trying to do. Because at Leicester, they blew the league away.
Oh, they blew
won the
absolutely.
championship.
I'm kind of
you
gutted
know-
that they never really stuck with Maresca. I think Maresca with
Oh, no, he
Leicester
left.
in the Prem.
Yeah, but he left.
I know,
Yeah,
but I
he
think
should have stayed this
just
season, yeah.
He should have kept his loyalty. If Leicester had gone down, then it could have been a thing of, all right, you know what? I've tried my best here. If there's a Premier League club that's going to come and take me, let's go.
I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like if you look at what Vincent Kompany did, Burnley the Championship,
Yeah.
ignore the Premiership run, and then obviously at Bayern Munich, it's just taken a style of football and transported it to a new team and just continued on. Obviously at Burnley in the Premier League, they couldn't really execute defensively and offensively what he was trying to do.
Yeah,
The way that
his philosophy
Yeah.
just did not fit Burnley's playing style, and that's where it just fell apart.
in the Premier League, in the
In the Premier
Championship,
League,
it
yeah,
works.
yeah.
But you got to adapt to the Prem or have the
Absolutely.
players that can move it quickly and get things going.
Yeah,
Which they, at the
Which
time,
they didn't have.
Yeah.
no,
And then at Bayern, so I can kind of see the logic of that. And also, he's been part of the City group, Maresca, in terms of being part of their coaching assistant and in the youth team. So I kind of get why they wanted to do that for continuity's sake. But it's a big risk. And like you said, they could have gotten anyone. And then speaking of that, I really want to look at the other new managers as well. You've got Iraola at Liverpool. We've got Maresca at obviously Man City. And of course, we've got Xabi Alonso at Chelsea. 3 teams that will be looking to try and wrestle the title away from North London. 3 teams that will feel like it's their time. Of the 3, I'm going to start with you, Craig. Which manager is going to have the better season between Xabi Alonso, Iraola at Liverpool, or Maresca at Man City?
I personally feel. I think Xabi Alonso might have a good season. I think, when he went to Bayern Leverkusen, Bayern Munich will win the championship every single season, and he brought that monopoly, that threshold, and just went there and dominated. Not only did he dominate, he played a style of football that was very attractive. He played free at the back. He brought Granit Xhaka from Arsenal, and he was really he done well there. Won the league in his first season there. Invincible as well. I think they lost in the Euro finals. European final they lost.
yeah, to Atlanta.
Yeah.
The Europa League.
Europa League final,
to
yeah.
Atlanta.
Still a cracking season.
Yeah,
And Alonso was a very, very good player. And he learned from Guardiola. He learned from Mourinho.
yeah.
He learned from all the great managers.
yeah,
Pep Guardiola
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
he's
yeah.
So he learned a lot from all the great managers. So he'll come into Chelsea and implement all them stuff he learned from all those great managers. It might not happen straight away, but give him time to build what he's trying to do. And if they believe in the system and the style of play, and they have to believe what he's saying. I know at Real Madrid didn't work out, but at Real Madrid it's like
Too many
heckle and drag, too many
but
big egos
you've got
there.
yeah, exactly.
Real
Throwing words
Madrid,
out my mouth.
Barcelona, Spain.
Yeah,
But I feel like Chelsea, if they give him the time, you have to be patient. Give him time, he'll do something this season for them.
How do you see it, Matthew, of those 3? Who's going to be best?
I have to have faith in it. I have to have faith in what my boys. And from what I've seen so far in the preseason, it does look pretty good. I mean, Ancelotti's gonna be kicking himself how he never took João Pedro to the World Cup. Honestly, he's gonna be really kicking. The players we signed have been really good. There have been some eclectic decisions there, but I can understand why he's done that.
Brett had done a bit more. What's the eclectic decisions you've seen so
The
far?
2 eclectic ones, well, Thingy's gone. I don't hold him personally, so Cucurella's gone. That's fine. He sees it. Grass is greener somewhere else. 2 eclectic ones are Henderson and Welbeck. But I understand Welbeck more. It means he can stop scoring against us. And with
True.
and the Jordan Henderson one. Now this kind of goes to the World Cup a little bit because I was scratching my head why he's going in. Why I'm scratching my head thinking like, okay, and the guy broke his arm. Fine. But I was actually having a discussion with my wife actually, and I didn't think of it this way where it's like the one thing that Chelsea have lacked, and I've said it on the pod before, the one thing we have lacked for a very long time is discipline. With Henderson, you get discipline.
Fair point.
So he's been around. He's Brentford, Saudi, Ajax, the time at Liverpool, Sunderland. You don't see him as a guy that's doing, in the papers for the wrong reason. And anyone who's ever played with the guy have always said he's the most straight-laced guy you will ever meet. Like he's captain, he's this, and I'm not saying he's going to be. He could be a vice captain, Chelsea. I don't know, but and how many red cards we got last season is not forgotten. But he's going to be there. Sometimes you just need someone there to galvanize and just put a bit of get a bit of structure in this club, and then need some of these young players because they've got a young squad there as well, which I guess was went at the World Cup. He didn't come to that because it was a bit underwhelming in the end, but that's kind of why it's there. Plus, also the lack of European football does give you a focus on domestics, which is something that I've said for a very long time. Where we've done well in Europe. I'm not gonna say I'm not grateful for that. I'm very grateful for that. But your bread and butter is at home. Like, I wanted to see an FA Cup final, missed out on it last season. Carabao Cup, missed out on that last season. League, never mind. It was terrible. But yeah, it's just I think something like that is just gonna band them together. I mean, last time we weren't in Europe, albeit 10 years ago, we won the league with Antonio. I'm not saying we're gonna do it, but
Before I go with Jamie with the same question, what would be the minimum expected finish for Chelsea to be a successful season for you?
second or third, which we can do. We can do, and maybe a domestic cup, or I'm not even going to say two, either one will do. Just again to kind of pick on from when we did the conference and the Club World Cup a couple of years ago, is showing that winning feeling to these guys, to show that this young group can go ahead and do something that got lost along the way last year. Show them again, start off big, massive. Mourinho's first trophy was the Carabao Cup on 2 runs with Chelsea and went on to greater success. So start off somewhere, got to start off somewhere.
Okay, Jamie, so of the 3, who's going to have the best season?
I've actually said it, and I'd agree. Again, it's got to be Chelsea, because I think another thing that we've not really touched upon is also half the league are in Europe this season.
Yeah.
Actually, just take that in
Actually,
for a minute.
bonkers, yeah.
Half the league are in Europe this season. If that is not an excuse for Chelsea to then go up another level and at least try and compete for European spots, I don't see where this can go. And plus, I think Alonso, Craig, you touched on it as well, which is the fact that, he's had so much success with Leverkusen and so on. But I think this is a right fit. I think this is the right fit for Chelsea. And again, my girlfriend actually said to me that she reckons that if Chelsea don't win the league, Alonso should get the sack.
You know what? I hear it, because you don't have the European distraction. The amount of money you've spent continuously all the time, which just gets ignored because you're so rubbish on the pitch. It's like no one cares. It's like we're so fixated on Man City that we forget the other blue team that also gets charges and gets found guilty.
A suspended ban. That got figured out before they did.
It was not good enough
Twice.
as far as I'm concerned.
It's just performances on the pitch have just really overshadowed everything at this point.
But based on money spent, you should be.
We'll take our butt whipping. We'll take our time on the corner, naughty steps. All right.
But you guys should be making Champions League.
I think we will.
Hands down, Champions League should be winning. Should be at least hitting Champions League spots this season. Whether we do get that 5th European spot, whether we don't get that European spot, there's genuinely no excuse.
You said 8. I count 8 teams from the Prem in Europe.
9, I believe.
9.
Because don't forget, we had the top 5. We obviously, with Arsenal doing well in Europe, that pushed it to 5.
Yeah.
You've got Sunderland, Bournemouth. I know Brighton,
Palace.
Palace are in the are in Europa, and then obviously you've got Brighton in the Conference League. So 19, pretty much near half the Premier League is going to be in Europe. So there is a big distraction, but it also means though, our Sunday afternoons are going to be looking very good. Football-wise, Sunday afternoons are going to be looking absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Who cares about the 12:30 kickoffs? We need the Super Sundays.
Yeah.
It's all about the Super Sundays come September.
It's going to be very interesting to see how they
Hot
match
take has
it.
now changed. It's now changed.
We're gonna come hold that.
Hold
we're gonna
that
come
thought
It's
for
for a
it.
changed.
minute. Hold that
Changed.
thought for a minute.
But it is going to be very interesting, and I think the amount of football available, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why I know Arteta this week said he's been trying to petition the league to allow bigger substitute benches like we have in Champions League,
Yeah.
because you got a squad of 25 players and you can't pick some of them. And he was all getting questions about why Ranieri, Martinelli, and Jesus were not involved in the weekend. But we know it's going to be a big season for a lot of our teams. One of us is chasing history. One of us is trying to figure out life under another new manager. We got the other red teams trying to figure out if it's going to be their year. Man United, it might be your year. Probably not, but it might be your year. And that being said, let's do our predictions for the title. For the predictions for the top 6, then we go on to the bottom 3. I want to start with you, Matthew. Top 6 predictions.
6.
You can go from 6 to first or first to 6,
It'll be
whichever
easier
way.
for me to go from 6 to first.
Let's do it.
Wow. Ooh. Villa, I'm going to be 6.
5th. Is it?
This is where it actually gets really hard. I'm going to...
Just note, right? Just take 2 things into consideration here. It could either be that 5th spot gets Champions League football, or they get Europa League football here. So pick wisely
wisely.
here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually, no. I'll change it. 6 is not going to be them. 6.
Yep.
Hate to say it. I don't want to say it.
No.
Say it.
Don't want to say it.
No.
I don't want to say
I
it.
know where you're going.
No.
Go there. It's fine.
This means nothing, by the way.
Say it.
It could be Tiny Tots.
Okay.
De Zerbi's a good manager.
5th.
Villa.
Okay. 4th.
I forgot Liverpool. I forgot about Liverpool. Okay, no. Villa, Liverpool, City.
Wait. So 6th Villa, 5th Liverpool,
Yeah.
City 4th.
City
okay.
4th.
Like this. 3rd.
Just. United.
So you're saying Chelsea 2nd,
Chelsea.
and then Arsenal, right?
Arsenal on top, yeah.
Okay. Craig, what's your?
I think Arsenal first. I would say. Second, Chelsea, Man City 3rd, Liverpool 4th, Man United 5th. I would say 6th, Aston Villa.
And Jamie, what have you got for us?
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Right. I'll go from first because it'll be a bit more easier. Arsenal to win the title. 2nd, I'm going Chelsea.
Okay.
3rd, I'm going to go United. I think they could be in with a good shout. I think Carrick has got something going with this United team. 4th, I'm going to go City. I just think they will need time to adapt. I think that's where they will be. 4th. 5th, I'm going to go Liverpool, only because I just think Iraola right now, it's a weird one with Iraola, because the fact you've picked a manager with, let's be honest, he hasn't got any European experience, has he?
Not that I know of, no.
Oh, no.
So that's why I'm going to go for them at 5th. It's just who gets 6th. It's that race for 6th. I think, who have I actually not mentioned? Who have I not mentioned as 6th?
You've not mentioned Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton, Spurs, Villa, Newcastle, Palace.
You know what? I know my girlfriend would love me to say Palace, but I know her eyes are firmly on winning Europa League. And look, I might even put a cheeky fiver on for Palace to go win Europa League this season. If I win, oh my gosh, we're quids in. But yeah, I think for me, I'd probably go Villa, because the one thing you've got to remember with Villa is they've been consistent, but will they be able to manage with the Champions League nights? I get it, they've managed with the Thursday-Sunday transition, but the Champions League is a different kettle of fish. And don't get it twisted, I know that they've obviously had Champions League experience before, but again, every season in the Champions League will get hotter and tougher, and that is it. And I think that's where, for me, Villa being 6th probably does make a lot of sense.
My top 6, Arsenal for the title. I am actually gonna back Liverpool for second,
Ooh.
mainly because I just think when I look at the quality of manager, they still need to do some business. I think their squad's probably not 100% there yet, but I think the manager could make the big difference. And looking at what he's done with Bournemouth over the years, I think they could be the surprise team to just go on a run and be there and thereabouts. Third, I will put United. Fourth, I'm going to put Man City. Fifth will be Chelsea. And sixth, I am going to go for Brighton.
Sorry?
Ooh.
Brighton?
Mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
It might not happen. If it's not Brighton, the other team I
Yeah, I
think
was going to say.
if it's not Brighton, then I will probably say Tiny Tots, Tottenham, Spurs.
Holy moly. Jeez almighty. Oh my God.
Just because
Of
I'm
all teams, come
yeah.
on.
So now bear in mind, I've got no praise for Tottenham and relegation would be great. I just think that they've spent a lot of money. They are clearly gambling. They're going for a big swing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Swing and a miss. I think Newcastle, I can't put them there because I think they're going to be in transition. New manager, not a few new players.
Yeah,
It's too soon for them.
Big losses as well.
Aston Villa, I don't know because I think that they burn too hot and cold for me.
Yeah.
I can't really. I know they won the Europa League last season, so you think they should be there and thereabouts. But they've also lost a key player in Tielemans. Watkins apparently is in the talks of going to Saudi. Martinez can't be sold because he's not. Another deal's falling apart.
Now obviously Vicario's now gone to Juve, so
Yeah.
again that makes
So
sense.
I don't know where they're going to sit, and I just think Emery is just, to me, he's a good manager in the Europa League. I don't think he's a great league manager, and I think it shows out time and time again. I just don't think they'll be there. As for the other teams, I don't know. I just feel like there'll be a surprise this season, and I just think Brighton, why not? They just seem to, I don't like their manager at all. Let it be said, but
No, I'm sorry, I don't
I'll
like
give
Brighton.
them-
Full stop. And that's not because.
yeah.
And that's not because. No, I don't like them. Full stop. I will never forget lockdown, and also. Of course, my girlfriend's going to hate Brighton as well because
yeah,
she's a Palace fan.
Palace,
So
yeah,
again, it makes sense.
fairs.
But I'm sorry, lockdown football. I will never forget when Ty went to the camera and was like, "Morpay, you're a cheat. Morpay, I hope your club gets relegated." And do you know what? I'm sorry, but Brighton I'm sorry, but they frustrate me so much. And again,
That's
going
fair.
back to last season when when you're there throwing shade at our manager, but yet, sorry, what? Like, okay, you've got Banter League and you've got Banter League football. That's what I call the Conference League. I call it Banter League football. Fair enough to Palace. I may not have called it Banter League football because I have to have that respect. But any other team, it's Banter League football. That's it.
No, that's fair. So we've done the fun bit. We've talked about the top. Let's talk about the bottom three. Who's going down? Matthew, we'll start with you.
Let me down last time. Ipswich stoned last.
They're going to be 20th, yeah?
20th. Let me down.
Okay.
Hull, I forgot they got promoted. Because I wanted to be Because we're the set. Middlesbrough, Sunderland, Newcastle. But
Yeah, we
nah,
actually were so close, yeah.
we were so close.
Tyne-Ware.
And the last spot, it's always the hardest one because it's either going to be another promoted team or it's going to be a team that's kind of hanging on for like dear life. And I hate to say it because I like having them around.
Jamie likes that.
I would say
Palace
Leeds.
thing.
Can't lie. I can't wait to get my predictions out. Hey.
Craig,
Yeah,
who
it's
have
there
you
for
got,
us.
Craig, as your three?
I think Ipswich will go down because, like as Matthew said, they haven't really invested in the squad heavily at all. I don't know if they learned the lesson the last time they're in the Premier League. I think Hull will go down. It's a shame. I do think Coventry will stay up. I think Lampard. They've done good business. They bought Only
Don't
from
forget-
Owani, yes,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
don't forget, they've spent just over 100 million in the market.
Yeah.
If that doesn't justify that you want to stay in the Premier League, I don't know what does.
And they've also followed the approach of Sunderland by raiding the French market to get their players as well.
Yes.
And a couple Premier League proven players, so
Yes.
smart. Who's your last team?
Who's gonna be my last team?
It's always the last team that's so difficult to
No, it's so
choose.
difficult. The last team.
Just.
you want to say them, you can say them.
No, I don't think. I'm Leeds.
No, you can say the team that's on the tip of your tongue. You can say them.
Go on.
It's not
Go
controversial.
on.
No, I'm trying to. No, I don't think Leeds will go down.
I'm not thinking about Leeds.
Not
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I'm glad we're on the. I'm glad
Yeah.
we're
The other-
actually-
the
we're
other
on the same
team.
wavelength. I
Yeah,
like
the other
this.
team.
I really like this now.
You've got
Come
the
on,
right.
man.
You've got the right kit color.
Come on.
Wrong
Come on.
city.
Yeah. Or wrong part, or wrong half of, you know.
But think about closer to home.
Yeah. We're not too close to home, but you get one.
Yeah.
You know you want
But if not them, you can
Yeah,
pick
you
someone
I
want
feel
else.
like 2 seasons in a row, they almost got relegated.
it. Ooh.
I feel this season, I know they spent a lot of money,
Ooh.
but
Oh.
I still don't think that the foundations is right.
Oh.
I think Spurs.
Bravo.
Got
Bravo.
there, it got there
Listen,
in the
it was
end.
on the tip of your tongue.
We got there.
all knew it.
Yeah.
We all knew it.
Just dancing around that one like you didn't want to say it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Got it.
All right, Jamie, who have you got for the drop?
Beautiful. Right. You have all gone for Ipswich at the bottom. I'm actually going Hull. I just don't think. Again, they were not. Again, it was very last minute that they got thrown into that playoff final, which fair play. Like, I didn't really want Southampton coming up. I actually quite like seeing a different team come up, and we haven't seen Hull in what was it?
Few years now.
Few years now, yeah.
About 10 years, yeah.
Close to a decade now. Yeah, exactly. So it's nice seeing Hull come up. Sorry, Hull, you're going back down again. Again, Ipswich, I think they'll finish 19th. They are the definition of a yo-yo club. They remind me actually of their neighbours Norwich. Do you remember? Do you remember the year they were coming back? They were going up.
Yeah.
They were coming back down. Going up, back down. QPR again. Going back up. Going back. You know, up and down. I see it again with Ipswich. I really see it with them. And 17th. Oh, it's just again, it's so difficult because I'm really toiling with two teams here. But I actually agree. I think I'm actually going with Forest. I just think you take the slander out of everything. They've got Oliver Glasner, great manager, but apart from signing Diamande, who obviously he wanted at Palace, but I just don't see. I feel like Elliot Anderson is kind of the heartbeat of that team. I know you can say Morgan Gibbs-White and so on, but I do see them getting relegated. I don't see them having a strong season.
All right. Mine is really going to be controversial because I just had a little look and I've really, yeah. So my bottom three is going to be Hull, 20th.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fulham in 19th
Oh.
because I don't rate the manager. I think they spent a lot of
Oh
money.
my gosh, yeah, Arbeloa.
And
Marco Silva's
I
gone,
think
yeah.
Oh
that
my gosh, yes.
I think that Marco Silva was punching way above his weight, and I think it will finally come to fruition. And the last team down, Newcastle.
That's not a bad shout,
Because
actually.
I don't think you can underestimate how big of a loss it is losing your two of your three midfielders.
Yeah.
You lost your key striker the previous season.
Yeah.
The guys you brought in, one was injured, one was starting to fire, and you moved him into midfield. You've got they're a very disjointed team right now, and I think they
my
could
gosh,
be
yeah.
they could be in trouble. The new manager, I don't know much about him, so I mean, he might surprise me and make me look like a fool, and that's fine. I don't mind it. Newcastle, I don't mind. We've got Bruno now, so my dislike of you has been
Actually,
reduced.
hold on a minute. If
But-
Newcastle were to go down, I would actually feel a little bit. I would feel maybe a tad better because obviously our record going to St James's has not been great.
No.
So I could,
Yeah.
I could kind of get with that.
And as you know,
yeah.
So I think for me, I think Fulham, Newcastle. You could argue Leeds might be at risk, but I think Farke's cracked it now. I think he's figured
now
out.
that he's been in the league for a few
Yeah.
years now, he's kind
And
of
also, I
cracked
think
his
when you
code
look
now.
at players like Okafor, you've got Calvert-Lewin,
Aronson.
you've got Aronson, you've got Tanaka, you've got Anton Stack, who's got an incredible free kick. I think he's got enough players who, when they go on those little weird runs and they'll pick up like
gosh,
1-0,
James
2-1s,
Justin as well.
3-1s.
Justin.
Yeah,
What
I
a
think they'll be
baller.
okay. But I think Newcastle and Fulham are two teams where I'm not convinced. The amount of money that Fulham have sent to Real Madrid for players, I'm sorry. Please look into them transfers. I'm sorry. It doesn't
add up.
no.
Yeah.
So those two, yeah. So I'm giving Ipswich, I'm saying Ipswich will survive. So it's a positive to this as well.
What about the Snapchat stories? You know, I like to see the Fulham Snapchat stories. Like,
Hey, look,
you know,
their social game is great.
What about Emil Smith Rowe?
It's
Come
fine.
on, you can't see him balling in the Championship.
Look, they I want prove me wrong. I'm happy
Okay,
to be wrong.
you heard it.
My top 6
You
prediction,
heard it here.
except for the top 2, but my top 6 prove me wrong, and the bottom 3 prove me wrong. I'm happy to be wrong, but I just feel like they're the most at-risk teams because I just think one thing you need is
I do
stability.
agree with like Arbeloa and Fulham. It's such a weird. It's a really weird combination. You'd think someone like Arbeloa would have gone to another team in Europe, but why Fulham? What attracted him to Fulham? Is it because it's a London club? Is it because they're Premier League based? Is it because they know that maybe Fulham, you know, they've been quite close to, you know, the European spots? Is that what's attracted Arbeloa to come to Fulham?
I think a large part of it is that possibility of taking them into Europe. Because Marco Silva couldn't do it. He tried. He really tried. Got close to make it.
And the signings that he did bring in during his tenure were were absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You know,
even though I was saying to Craig the other day, it's like I was surprised when Harry Wilson going to Leeds from Fulham, and I think for me as well, you look at moves like that. Now, obviously, you know, there might be family reasons. I know he's from Wales, so there could be maybe getting from Leeds to Wales probably easy. I don't know, but I also feel like you look at moves like that. Why would a player that was arguably at times last season in contention for being in the top 10, top 15 players in the league, because he went on some runs where he was scoring goals for fun. And he looked like, I looked at him and I thought in the run, and I thought, Harry Wilson might get a top 6 move.
Yeah.
Might get, he might get a top 6 move.
So, you know, consistency. Yeah. That's what it is.
So to go from Fulham to Leeds, with all due respect, if you look at respect of what they've done last few years, that's a backward step. Now, he could look at it and think the Leeds project, they might be on the up. And maybe he's felt like, look, Marco Silva has done so much and we've not made it. I feel like we could be dropping down. So for me, I think, you know...
It goes back to what you were saying about Daniel Farke as well. You know, he's kind of cracked the code with the Premier League. Yeah. So he's probably thought, actually, you know what, with Daniel Farke, I could actually maybe become a better name at Leeds compared to Fulham.
Because a lot of my dad's a Leeds fan. I know quite a few Leeds fans, and they took a long time to really get behind him. But now, like you said, he's kind of seen and cracked a little bit because he got some decent results somewhere along the line last year. Yeah. And it's also like, it's not even just about, maybe let's take Europe outside of it. Remember going back like Barclays days 20 years ago, sometimes it was just about being that kind of, you know, Premier League certified club. Which is what Fulham, for the most part, are. Yeah. More that kind of stable.
To be honest, you could actually say that about a lot of teams in the Premier League. You could.
That's true.
You know, you could really say that about quite a few teams because let's be honest, if a Fulham goes down or if an Everton goes down, even a Spurs, you know, you will sit there and think, wow, that was them kind of teams you would call stable Premier League teams. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, Everton have danced with death, but I feel like I think they've come out of that phase now.
They've come out of that dark phase.
Getting Moyes back was the.
Just going back to Fulham real quick. I mean, because I'm just looking at their forward lines they've got right now. They've got Gonzalo Garcia, they signed Rodrigo Muniz. They've got Iwobi, who plays more in midfield. You got Jonah, Kusi Asare, Kevin, and Macaulay Zeppa. Where's the goals coming from? Jimenez he's gone back to Wolves.
He's gone back to Wolves.
And again, so this is the other thing. It's like you're looking at players leaving, where they're going to, and what they've said on the way out.
But also, what are Fulham doing actually? In the sense they've got Arbeloa, but we haven't got long left in this market. We've only got maybe 2 weeks left. That's scary.
Under 2 weeks, yeah.
Under 2 weeks, even. That's scary. That's very scary because if you think about it, like you just said there, Craig. You know, next week's the 25th. It's a week and a half, actually. That's scary.
I've got a striker for them if they want. Where's number 9?
Jesus.
Brazilian. Yeah. Great right foot on his day.
Yeah.
If you want him. Jinky Majink King.
He could flourish there.
I think so.
You know what? I think for Jesus, that is the kind of move that would actually be quite fitting for him.
And especially if the pitch is fire us to Europe. I think that's a good pitch for him. Come join Fulham, fire us to Europe.
And he can still live in London as well.
He can still live in London, yeah. Fulham's a very nice part of London to live in.
Fulham, you're welcome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
10% of the fee when it's done,
Hold on a minute. you know, Fulham, we've done a lot of deals here.
Yeah.
You know, help us out here.
Yeah, man, just a little 10%.
Yeah.
That goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously, I guess we've kind of talked about the promoted teams and what we want to do. Let's look at the big awards for the season. Who do we think is going to get manager of the season? Matthew. Tough one.
Hard to-
Because someone you might name might get fired, depending on who you name.
That is scary, actually.
If you said Xabi Alonso, with your track record.
I can't really say because I don't know what he hasn't proved it in the league yet. So you're looking at some of the maybe the more established managers. Maybe I did say last season it was wild, I know, but if Rob Edwards somehow kept Wolves up, I would have gone for him. But obviously that was wild.
I think that would have been a fair shout for the job he did.
Yeah,
What he took over. And,
I would have, for last season. I
if
would
he
have
came
put him up there.
earlier, if he came a little bit earlier, I reckon it could have been done.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's hard to look outside of Mikel really at the moment, unless a manager does a madness. It's hard to look.
Greg, who you've got on your mind?
I personally feel, I don't know, it's been on my mind for weeks now. It's playing on my mind. I feel like if Coventry stay up this season, I think Lampard might get it, you know. The reason why I say this is because Coventry have been in the Premier League for a long time. And Lampard did do a great job. First spell at Chelsea, he did a great job. With all the young kids, he did a great job. With Mason Mount, Reece James, all them players did a great job.
Such a good
And I feel like he done one championship last season, got them up. I feel if he can keep them in the Premier League, there has to be a contender of manager of the season. Last season, my one for me, I thought Farker from Leeds should have been manager of the season. Know why
Did
I
not
say?
say that.
Wait. Let me say.
Did not say that last season.
No,
Go
I
on.
said in my mind. I thought it in my mind. I really want to say it because he kept Leeds up. He almost got sacked.
very close.
Very close to getting sacked, and he turned it around and kept Leeds in the back Premier League because they could have gone down. West Ham could have stayed up. They could have gone down. So I thought that's what I thought him.
Jamie, who have you got?
I can't. The reason why I can't say Mikel Arteta because obviously.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking Arteta actually.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually thinking Arteta. No. It's so difficult. To be honest, I don't really want to. The thing is, right, last season, right, me and Craig actually said because we had a little pod of our own, and I posed this question to you, and we both went for the same answer, and it actually worked out quite well, which was Regis Lebris.
Oh yeah, I did say it. I remember.
Okay, now that rejigs the memory.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a shame that he didn't get it last season. Quite a few other managers could have got it last season as well. But I also can't lie, Craig, I'm on the same wavelength as you. I also had Frank Lampard because he's done it in the Prem. He's done it in the Prem. If he could just keep Coventry up and produce a couple shock results, not against us, by the way, but you know, I think that could work out really well.
Good shout.
I think so. I think because he was born into football.
It was.
His dad was a footballer.
Yeah.
His uncle was his manager. So he's got that football DNA.
Football
His cousin was a footballer.
Again, you look at the records he's got at Chelsea. You know,
Mm.
you look at the accolades he's got at Chelsea. If you were to cut him open, he would bleed prime Barclays. He'd actually bleed prime Barclays, and that is why I'm actually really happy that Coventry are up because again, you know, you look back at his time at Derby.
Yeah.
Look at the season he had with Derby. And I actually think this would work out so well for him because at the end of the day, you've brought Coventry up. If you can keep them afloat, this would really be a match made in heaven. Plus, are we not looking at the players that they've got as well? Haji Wright, you know, to name quite a few. I think that's why, again, with all our predictions, that's why we see Coventry staying afloat this season.
And I bought Hammer from Gustavo Hammer from Sheffield United. Ex player as well going back home. So and I got Iwani from Nottingham Forest. So yeah,
I know he's injury prone, but if he could stay injury free,
he can score goals.
Yeah, him and Haji Wright together could actually be a really good partnership there. But again, I don't know the kind of formation and like play that Coventry kind of have up their sleeve.
If Ipswich survive, I'm giving it to Gary O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill.
He signed, took over this summer.
When he was at Bournemouth, I heavily rated him so much. Heavily rated him. And you know what? When he got sacked and he was on Monday Night Football, I think I even said it to you as well, Craig. His insight in football is just on another level.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
so good.
he could be a surprise factor if
That's
they
a good
survive
shout.
and then finish mid-table-ish. Yeah, he could be in there.
All right. If Ipswich were to get relegated, who's like that? Who's Plan B?
So if Ipswich get relegated,
Plan B. That's the question.
if I ignore the obvious answers of the top 60 teams, maybe Everton, David Moyes.
Damn.
I'm picking really weird ones because I don't know. I just
No.
feel like it's just you just never know.
That's not a bad shout.
Because Everton are in a really good place right now.
Yeah.
They've, we don't know what they're going to do in terms of like closing out the market,
I
but they've
mean-
got a good squad.
Norgard going to Everton.
Thank you very much
That-
for the money. Appreciate it.
But do you know what I mean? Norgard going to Everton, that could really I could see
As a
him
Premier League
flourishing
champion as well.
as a Premier League champion as well. And he's someone that's very humble, never complained once, just trained, turned up to training, got on with it. Exactly. I think he could do really well.
And another thing with Norgard as well, a lot of players in Arsenal dressing room, so when things were not going right at Arsenal, some of the games that were not going well, he was the one that was uplifting the players. Declan Rice said it. I was reading,
Yep.
I was listening to it online, like he was really getting the players. It was a very good team in the changing room. He didn't play a lot of games, he didn't moan, didn't go to the press. He just helped the team. Eze and Rice was saying he was the most important motivator at the club. Like how Jordan Henderson going to be for Chelsea with how he gets
He's not going to play a lot, but
Yeah.
he's going to be there.
He'll be
for-
that morale boost.
He'll be a coach. He'll be a
morale
coach.
boost.
He'll be like a
Yeah.
player coach.
He'll be
basically.
that morale boost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, there's lots of players that are looking to crack into the rankings. I'm not going to do young player or player of the season yet because I just feel like it's just too early to say.
It's
a
you
lot
are
of-
literally you're
Yeah.
in a kid in a candy shop at this point. You are
Yeah.
just sport for choice.
So I think at this point, I want to turn to you, Jamie. I want to start off with, because you're an Arsenal and a Celtic fan. Talk to me. How does that
So-
all come together?
Right. So basically, I'm actually half Scottish.
Okay.
Right. And my grandma, who is like obviously fully Scottish, she is a Rangers fan. So from that kind of point there, that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move over to Celtic. And do you know what? Again, we've had some great seasons. Again, the one game that will forever stay in my memory was beating Barcelona at Celtic Park. I wish I was there, but I was too young. But yeah, it was amazing. And watching, you know what? It's frustrating watching Celtic, but it's also frustrating watching Scottish football because, again, it's never going to be given that same kind of pedigree as how we treat the Premier League. When you look at Europe, especially when you look at doesn't matter if it's Europa League, Conference League, Champions League, with us in the Premier League, we will always be guaranteed a qualifying spot. But if you, again, now Celtic winning the Scottish title now, they don't even get the first qualifying round. They have to be in the third or second qualifying round to even get out. And I think that's what somewhat damages the reputation of Scottish football, is the fact that they're not given a chance. But yet, no disrespect, say, I don't know, I can't even think of a random European team, but say a random European team, like a Karabag, for example, they could get automatic qualification, but it's well, hold on a minute. Why don't Celtic get that kind of loyalty?
Yeah.
Bearing in
You won.
mind,
Yeah, you won.
do you know what I mean? Bearing in mind, we won the Scottish Premiership title. However, we shouldn't have won it, and that is being honest. A lot of Celtic fans will probably disagree, but let's get some senses knocked into our heads here, people. But yeah, I think I've always grown up loved watching them. I had actually the privilege of going up to Celtic Park last season. Oh, and it was actually really good because I'll never forget. I got given the money to go get a Celtic shirt. I went in and straight away I knew who I wanted. Had to get my boy KT on the back. And the guy that printed the shirt, actually, he was like to me, oh, I actually printed Tierney's shirt. So I actually turned around to him and I said to him in the store, I was like, so if Tierney scores today, you're bringing the luck. What happens? He goes and scores. Oh my! Do you know what? I actually had a tear in my eye because I never thought I'd ever get to witness Tierney scoring at at a game. I mean, I think I told you, Craig, I was at one of the Arsenal games and Tierney scored and I was so happy, but then the goal got ruled out as offside and I was like, oh, for goodness sake, I'm never going to witness it. But tickets were cheap. I mean, I got flights to Scotland. It was really good. You know, definitely worth going. I know you said you wanted to go. So, I mean, listen, if you ever want to go, like, we should definitely go because it is going to Celtic Park is just electric. I'd love to go for a European night, whether it's Europa or Conference or Champions League. It's just be on another level altogether.
I want to talk a bit about the teams as well, but I want to start off talking about the atmospheres because obviously football stadiums, TV is fraud. It doesn't accurately reflect the atmosphere in grounds at all. I think some grounds are made to sound louder than they actually are, Anfield, and other grounds are made to be quieter than they actually are in the stadium. Because I remember I was watching an Arsenal game back on TV, having been there live, I think Atletico Madrid, and I was like, this is not how it sounded like from where this is. I was like, have they turned the mics down again or something? So how do you compare the atmosphere in Celtic Park versus the Emirates? And what could Arsenal do to bring a bit more of that?
Craig's nodding because he knows I'm about to go on a rant here. Oh my gosh, let's start off right. Celtic, they've got their fanatics. They do a great job. They are actually, like, you could hear them from all corners of the stadium. The atmosphere is electric. You know, it is absolutely amazing. But Craig, you know where I'm going to go with Arsenal, and it actually, oh my gosh, it grinds my gears so much. The Ashburton Army. I am sorry, but you are not doing a good enough job. Tell me why. I've been to Palace games and I've sat in like the Homesdale end or I've sat in like the Arthur Waite stand. Tell me why I have more atmosphere at a Palace game than I feel like I do at an Emirates game. And that's shocking to say, but I'm sorry, but the Ashburton Army actually rattle me so much. They do not create an atmosphere. And I think that's where, being Premier League champions, we need to do better.
Do you think, because I mean, to countenance for them, because I've seen a lot of stuff from them online talking about how their allocation's gone down for the last 2 seasons from what it was previous season or 2 seasons back, and that's affected them. Do you think that's a factor, or do you think it's just simply the choice of songs that they pick that doesn't really catch around the stadium?
I think it's both actually, because they might start a chant, but it just doesn't travel around the Emirates. And like I've had rival fans come to me saying, "Oh, we've gone to games before and we've heard people say, is this a library?" And we're like, and I'm just like, and we would probably start chanting, but it's the fact that no one catches on with the chants, and I think the Ashburton Army need to do better with that. Craig, how many times have I said to you, mate, give me a megaphone, get me down the Emirates? I will bring a megaphone, I'll bring a drum, I will start chanting like there's no tomorrow, But I just think the Emirates atmosphere this season really does need to ramp up. There's a reason why there are more Red members that have now joined Arsenal membership. You don't even get me started on that, Craig, as well. But there's a reason why there are more members becoming Arsenal fans now. Because at the end of the day, we need to start building the atmosphere. Now that we're Premier League champions, we need to make the Emirates our fortress. But that comes from them. But it has not echoed around the stadium, and that's the only thing that really frustrates me.
It's a weird one because I went to quite a good number of games last season, and I think I sat in different areas. I mean, I sat in club level one game, the Bournemouth game. I can't forget it because I can't forget that Bournemouth. I was on to Craig after Craig's obviously Leeds Stadium because this one Bournemouth fan was getting on my. I was ready to come down there and have a word with him. Anyway, so yeah, and then I've been to quite a few games. We've been to Atletico Madrid's second leg. I went to the Champions League final screening. I think it's interesting where you sit, because Champions League final screening, you were in the normal seats. I was in club level with my friend. Atmosphere was crazy. It felt like a match. Like it was non-stop singing. It was amazing. Being away at Cardiff as well, atmosphere was incredible. It might be a mixture of which fans get access to games. That could be a factor. Because I think that the screening, a lot of fans went off to Budapest, so they came. Yeah. I think some of the other games is a bit of a mixture. There is work to be done. And we'll see on Friday. I'll be there on Friday. So we'll see.
I'm still trying to get, even now as I speak, I'm still spamming
tickets are there. I've seen, tickets have been flying about this week. Today, I saw at least, for the course of this week, I've been looking since Sunday. I've been actively looking at tickets. Yeah. I've seen about 30 tickets come up and go.
Oh my
So they're
gosh.
about they're flying about.
But my point being is though, like every time I've gone on, it just looks like a sellout. And my point being is, first game of the season, Premier League champions, we've got to bring the energy with us.
Off here, I'll give you some tips. Don't worry.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say it on air because
you know what I'm
some
saying.
people-
Like a lot of people are going to be watching this.
Yeah.
You know? But like for me though, atmosphere needs to be electric, and the thing is, it needs to be electric home and away. Because I've said this to you as well, Craig. But I feel like when you go to a Champions League game, the atmosphere is electric. Think back to like Real Madrid. Real Madrid at home. Maybe not PSG 2 years ago in the Champions League semi-final, but every Champions League game has been electric.
Even last season when me and Clive went to the Atletico game at home, the
second leg, yeah.
no the group stage, it was electric.
And then
Semi final was out. It was like before we went to the because I came to the stadium before the game.
Yeah.
I was just recording like the atmosphere outside the stadium before, and when the Atletico coach came, they got dog abuse. I've never seen the Emirates like that before.
Yeah, see?
They had red flares.
But that's
it's like a party atmosphere. Yeah.
But again, this goes back to what I was saying about the Ashburton Army. The only thing they promote is what happens outside the stadium. They don't promote what's inside the stadium, and that's what drives me insane. Look, again, Arsenal. If anyone from Arsenal is watching this, you need to give these lot a bit more freedom and a lot more access, because right now we could be made into a laughing stock right now from rival fans. Do you really want that being Premier League champions? I'm sure you probably don't. Come on now, fix up. But again, there's a lot of factors that could go around that. But again, at the end of the day, it's just got to be one of them things where it's all good doing stuff outside the Emirates, because I know we do the walkthrough and I know they say not to use your phones, but obviously people are going to use it because people want to get it out on their content pages. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, come on now. If you're going to bring that atmosphere outside the ground, we need to bring it inside. Like I said, we've got to make the Emirates a cauldron.
Yeah.
Got to.
What's your take, Matthew, on the atmosphere question?
This is. I don't think this is just an Emirates thing. I just think it's a football thing, and maybe even a Premier League thing. Where, depending on where you want to go, I've always said that. I've said it many times on here. I think it's the shift on what the clubs want or what football wants from these clubs, because you got these owners coming in and they see these clubs and they look and they see cash cows. Every single one of them is a cash cow, and I've noticed this. You may not know. I used to do program selling at QPR. And year after year after year, eventually till we stopped doing it because the company changed, the one thing I'm realizing is you're still getting your locals, you're still getting your absolute diehards that are coming in, week out. But you're also seeing a very small but consistent influx of fans from across the pond, across the seas, who are coming for a day out in London, 5 minutes from Westfield, to see a game of football. And as a tourist, that's going to be a very, very attractive proposition for you, from no matter where you are. Now, move that to say somewhere like Stamford Bridge, or look at the Tottenham Stadium. If you look at the Tottenham Stadium compared to everywhere else around it don't fit.
Again, it's really embarrassing because I've taken my missus, I've taken my girlfriend's Palace ticket, sat in the away end, and Palace fans have actually they've really gone above and beyond to really make an atmosphere. But when you hear Tottenham singing, the only time you ever hear them sing is when the Saints go marching in. They're not marching in this season. Calm down. But
I honestly, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. I honestly feel that the smaller clubs have got more passion.
Yes.
Because let me give an example. Like when I watch the championship games, sometimes I watch the championship game on TV, they got the passion. I think the smaller league clubs got the passion.
Yeah.
Because they don't. It's not all about money. I was just saying to my mom the other day. I feel like the smaller clubs, they haven't got the money, they haven't got the infrastructure, but they're more hungrier. Yeah. The more fans like in the higher level, like the Arsenal, the Man United, the Man Cities, and Liverpools of this world, they don't really.
Their focus has changed.
Yeah,
their focus has changed, and that's a lot of it is down to the ownership, and it's no coincidence. Your clubs, my club, Liverpool, are owned by Americans. Yeah. So we're looking at it very, very, very differently. Now, go to, like you said, to the smaller clubs, even in the Premier League, they still got that old philosophy of making it a thing to go to as a family, like family clubs, your Brentfords, your Brightons, your Palaces.
Yeah.
Look at your Palaces, that kind of same intimidating feel. Like they've incorporated the ideas of having these big time managers, but they haven't forgot who they were.
Exactly.
And they're not in it for the whole thing, the gain or this and that. So when one of them does win something, it means so much because they grind, they toil. Look what Palace in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
The whole country celebrated. The whole country we were behind them.
Yeah.
We were behind them. I know I was behind, like everyone behind them. It was great. I remember watching. I have never been so tense because that was the year that we won the conference and the thing. I was more tense at the Palace City City FA Cup more than anything because great. This was a year of the underdogs doing it.
Because again, like you've just said there with Palace, we look at Newcastle. The fact that Newcastle had not won a trophy in 70 odd years.
Yeah.
I think I remember going out and I was around the Wembley area and the atmosphere was just on another level. It was just on another scale. And again, I think, I don't know about all clubs, but certain clubs have obviously got their fanatics, and it's the fanatics from them teams that make the atmosphere. Palace with the Holmesdale fanatics, they are there week in, week out. They will chant from the minute the players come out to train, they will chant, and that's what you want to do. You want to be intimidating, And again, Arsenal, we've had tifos and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing I want to be seeing. Tifos, you want to really intimidate these away fans. You don't want them to think, all right, we're just here for a game. No, we want to scaremonger. We want to strike fear into them. The only time, again, even for like North London derbies, I want to be seeing like tifos. I want to see atmosphere. I want to really see some sort of an intimidation going into them kind of games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely work for the clubs to do. I think also from like some of the, because I remember I was one game, it's the Everton game, Dowman scored, so I was behind the goal.
Oh, wow.
I remember after the game, I was just hanging about and I was chatting to some fans in the stadium. And this one Brazilian fan was like to me, he was like, "Oh my gosh." He said, "My heart." I said, I don't mind a few more games like this. He was like, "What? No, I don't want."
But the thing is, as football fans, that's what we live for.
Yeah.
We live for on the edge of we live for the on the edge.
But I think on that note, I think it's what I think for a lot of Arsenal fans is that there was a lot of anxiety because it's been so long.
Yeah.
And we'd been close before and fallen away. And I think this past season, there was that sneaking feeling of, oh, they might catch us again. Yeah. And I think that spread into the stadium. And that's what was, so even like the Bournemouth game, I think pre-game, the atmosphere was great. And then they scored. And we're like, oh gosh, here we go again. Then we equalised. Okay, we're on. Then they scored again. And like, what's going on here? And we just couldn't, we know how our striker had his chances and couldn't finish his dinner. So, it just didn't work out. But I think those moments, and even after the game, it was like my friend, like, oh gosh. Anyway, on the phone, was just going to spare because you just feel like, what on earth am I watching here? What is going on? And I think for us now, we've got the weight lifted off our shoulder. Like I was really impressed, not just by the fact that we scored after 25 seconds against Man City in Cardiff, but it's the way we moved the ball throughout the game. Everyone keeps saying Arteta has this defensive football.
I just, what I saw was fluidity. And that's something that we've all been missing. Odegaard, I mean, we've spoken about Odegaard on a few occasions, Craig. And, we've said that we've not seen that Odegaard since he picked up that injury. That game,
he was in flow state.
I could not have said that any better.
I'll be honest with you, Jim. I think he had a great World Cup. I think the World Cup boosted. He had a very good World Cup, injury-free, no injury. Him and Haaland were linking up well.
That chemistry between them.
But you know what else it is? When your peers recognise you as that guy. It's the World Cup. There's many players that had standout moments. There's two moments that stand out for me. Is when I think it was the England players saying that, oh, Odegaard ran the show, even though, whatever. But also the reaction from the PSG players of Miles Lewis-Skelly not being called up and the absolute shock. I mean, I think they asked like Vitinha and Neves. Yeah. And they were like, what, no Miles? They're like, to me, that says everything. Yeah. And I think Odegaard finally got the recognition that his ability. And I think last season, I think it was a mixture of injuries I personally believe there was a point in the season towards the back end where it was. I don't think it wasn't that he wasn't playing well, but I think it was more. I'm still going to perform because the West Ham game, he went into that. I'm top 5. I'm top 3 midfielders in the league. Put some respect on my name, and he played that past Trossard. But I also feel like for patches of the back end of the season, there was a bit of the World Cup's coming up. I've received. I was actually there for the 3 times he got injured this last season. I was there for all 3 games. It's not my fault. I was just there. It's not. I'm not responsible.
It's an untimely.
Yeah,
coincidence.
but I remember all 3 of them because there was 2 shoulders and one was an impact on the leg, and I was just like, and in each game he was showing a bit of swagger and then gets clamped and goes down, and that's it. And I think when that happens to you and you get 3 stupid injuries, when you're trying to play your football, you're gonna be a bit more. I don't really want to get
apprehensive.
touched. Yeah, I got the World Cup coming up. It's the first time in over 30 years Norway have qualified.
And
I need to be there.
We can make a show.
Yeah, I need to be there.
Good.
I'm the captain. I'm one of the key players. I need to be there. So I do think towards the back end, I think he did kind of hold back a little bit at times. I think he played safe. He played in areas where he wouldn't necessarily get clamped and clattered, and you could see the pitch more coming deeper to get the ball. Also wasn't helped by the fact that Mendy was really tired and whatever. But then when it really mattered, he came up clutch. And another day, we could have had more. But I think the manager said himself, he's come back this season like a man ready to prove a point. And I think it is that fact that we're champions. I'm the captain. I'd done it, even though Mr. Tony Adams, love you, but you said he wouldn't do it, and he did it. So he's come back with that attitude saying, listen, I'm Arsenal captain. The players voted me. The managers voted me. I brought the Premier League title. Fabregas didn't do it. Van Persie didn't do it. I did it. And I'm here.
Do you know what? Another point to add as well that I forgot to touch upon earlier on in the show, right, is the fact that we've also won the league while Pep is manager, while Pep was manager, because everyone's going to forget that. Because imagine if we didn't win the league, and now next season we go and win the league now, and everyone's going to be like,
wasn't there.
But you didn't win it because Pep weren't there. Exactly. Do you get my point? So at least now there's a bit more shade to us where we can be like, well, hold on a minute. We won the league when Pep was there.
He was chasing us for a long time.
It was.
The thing is, well, like it's 2 seasons Pep didn't win the league, and it's never happened to him in managerial career. He always wins the league. He always wins every season. He always wins the league. I think his first season at City, he didn't win the league. Second season, he wins the league, and after that, just started dominating.
Look at that, as poetic. First and last, no league trophy. Oh, look at that. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Do you know what though? See, with Pep, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he knows what's going to happen to City next season.
But the charges.
Why do you think? Yeah.
100%.
Why do you think he chose to leave with 1 year left of his deal? Because he probably knows something's dodgy. Something dodgy's going on behind the scenes. So he's like, right, you know what? I need to pack my bags and I need to get out of here, because once City's name gets dragged in the mud, my name gets dragged in the mud as well.
We mentioned that before.
Yeah.
We mentioned that before, where it's like he probably knows more than what we know on, and if he found out if he found that out, you're bringing down my name. You lied to me. It's like, I'm going to drag you lot through the absolute dirt.
Yeah.
He always said that if they lied, he would go. So I'm not saying that's why he left, but you could add 2 and 2 and you might get 4.
And
We'll see how this unfolds, because it's going to unfold eventually.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, it surely has to unfold during the course of this season.
100%.
Because this has been it feels like a drama that is just never going to end.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be hooked onto it.
For too long. In closing, Matthew, what's your hot take for us for this
I had
episode?
one. It was going to be City related. I'm not going to talk about him anymore. I've got a better one.
Go for it.
English teams, clean sweep in all European competitions.
Oof.
Wow.
Clean sweep.
Oh, I'll take that.
I'm not saying who,
Okay.
Yeah.
but it's going to be a clean sweep.
I'll take that.
Clean sweep.
I'll take that.
They ain't ready.
I'll take that. I really will take that.
I honestly feel that PSG are the team to beat in the Champions League this season. They want it back to back. Everyone's going to want to beat them now.
And
PSG, they might be going for a third. They want 3 in a row like Real Madrid. So someone has to stop them.
And the league table format,
Arsenal.
actually, the league table format, how they do it, after 2 seasons, you see why they did it. There's a lot of teams, a lot of them are going to be quite forgettable and aren't going to make it. But it has made things that little bit more interesting. It has to be said. Like I said, I don't know who is going to win, but I'm calling it all 3 English clubs.
Take it. Jamie, as we wrap,
Can't lie, I was actually going to go with the same kind of direction as well. I had that in my mind as well. However, I do not see Brighton winning Conference League.
Fairs.
I'm putting that out there. Brighton, you're not winning Conference League. You're not doing a Palace. You're not. No. Let the Palace fans have their time. Let them go win Europa League. That's going to be my hot take. Palace win Europa League.
I mean, Palace should have been in Europa League anyway last season, but
They
you know,
should
we could talk about that for hours and
Exactly.
How,
So yeah,
Forest, you know.
that's my hot take. Palace to win Europa League.
Craig, have you got one to close?
Hot take.
Yes, come on.
You could have the one I was going to originally say. You could have that one.
Ah, he's got something.
I personally feel that this season, Arsenal are going to do very well this season again.
Yeah.
But there's a but.
But
Everyone's going to want to beat us, but we're going to show them. Arteta's cooking something this season. The players he's brought in, Bruno, brought in Tolles. Tolles is someone to watch out for.
Zolis.
Portly player.
yeah,
We haven't even spoken about it.
And Arsenal have not finished their transfer business yet. Don't be surprised if you see a marquee signing come to Emirates.
So we're talking.
I'm not saying who.
We're talking like kind of Mesut Ozil kind of settings here.
Someone is going to come in and transform us and get us up to the league again. But I honestly feel that we're going to lose someone that we love the best.
Oh,
That's where
That really hurts.
That's what I got. I have that worrying feeling for the last couple of days, and I'm thinking we're going to lose someone that we really like.
give it with one hand, take with the other.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've got another hot take as well. I'm actually going to put this out there, but all Premier League teams are going to struggle. I can see I can see a lot of teams struggling because we've just come off the back of a World Cup.
I know.
Players are not going to be up to full fitness. That's why I've said to so many people, once this new season's done with, then we can have that conversation next season because there's nothing.
There's no international tournaments.
There's no international tournaments. We can enjoy the women's World Cup. Whether that goes ahead, that's going to be another thing. But that's another subject for another show. But yeah,
And I'm going to put another one quickly. I think Lewis Skelly will get Young Player of the Year.
oh, what a shout!
that's a great shout.
What a shout!
I mean, he definitely starts on Friday. I think the midfield that played. In fact, I'd say that the.
Give me your midfield three, actually.
So I think the team that started against Man City at the weekend, the only change will be on the right wing. Everyone else will be the same. It'll be the exact same team. So Raya in goal, Calafiori, Gabriel, Mosquera, Ben White, Miles Lewis Skelly, Bruno, Odegaard, and it'll be Solis, Havertz, and Saka.
Also, we're not forgetting the bench. How strong that bench is
That's
as
just
well.
strong. Martinelli couldn't forget on the bench the other day.
Or he might just pick the exact same team if he feels like Saka is better off the bench. But it'll be one of the two. It's Saka or Madueke is the only change that'll be.
The fact that Saka's been so eager to get back, I think he will want to make a point on Friday night under the lights at the Emirates for opening day of the Premier League. Saka's starting, and I think he will score. Saka has a knack, especially if we're at home, first game of the season. Saka has a knack for scoring at the Emirates. And believe, if he's not in your FPL team, stick him in your FPL team.
And Tolles as well might get an assist.
Yes.
The way how he takes corners.
Yes.
And set pieces.
He's had a goal
gosh.
contribution in every single Arsenal appearance so
That's
far.
ridiculous.
I think it's 6 in 5.
Yeah.
Because he got two in the
two.
Community Shield as well. Ridiculous.
Champions versus champions.
Yeah.
There we go.
The tale of two champions.
Oh, that's a good shout, you know.
Champions versus champions.
EFL champions v Premier League champions. That's gonna make a really.
Gonna be fireworks at the Emirates on Friday night.
It's going to be fireworks. I will be there. Vlog post game. Watch out for that. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Let us know your predictions. Who will be in the top 6? Who will be in the bottom 3? Which manager will get fired? And I'm going to say this as a closing point. I think one manager from the top 6 will not be in their job come end of the season. I'm not going to say which one, but one of them will not be there come end of the season. And that's all I have to say about that. And if you're Tottenham, you'll be hoping that you're not a top 6 club. But we'll see you all next time.
Peace.
Bye.